Good morning. It's 8 minutes after 6 a.m. on this Thursday morning. A live look outside where our videographer Cy outdoing himself this morning with this shot overlooking the city of Steubenville and the Market Street Bridge. What a great shot up there on the hilltop of West Virginia. Looking down on a cold Thursday morning.
From popping into classrooms.
That's what I like about your science class, Mrs. Walters. Lots of research.
To strolling the hallways. There is a lot John Neese is going to miss, and it's still a little hard to believe.
A lot of them say, "Oh, you're not leaving, are you, Mr. Neese?" And I said, "Yes, I am. It's time." "Well, you're not that old." I said, "You want to bet?"
Neese has accomplished a lot in his 50-plus years in education, from teaching social studies in Follansbee in the 1960s.
I had some clip-on bow ties.
To Catholic Central High School in Steubenville, a stint in Toronto, East Liverpool, and now Indian Creek at the middle school.
Those youngsters at this level are very reachable. When kids get to high school, it's very hard to turn them around. But I think in the junior high and the middle school, you have a much better opportunity to influence those youngsters.
And his teaching style transferred over to his coaching style.
I expect you to learn. It's going to be like a classroom. And if you don't like the way I do it, then you can leave.
But Neese says they didn't leave. They stayed, and they won. In fact, in the mid-2000s, his girls' basketball team at Indian Creek won 51 straight games. With all of his accolades, his replacement, Mike Cottis, certainly has big shoes to fill.
I'm size 12. I think he's about size 13. He'll be okay.
The kids look up to him, and they truly enjoy when he walks into the room. Another thing, we talk about some coaches being a player's coach. You know, he's a player's coach in the classroom around the school building.
Neese tells me he was inspired by the late Hank Kuzma, the legendary Barron athletics coach.
Coach had a great influence on my career.
Neese played for Kuzma's 1958 championship winning team. Now he only hopes that he too will leave a lasting impression.
Especially the kids. They're probably the reason I've stuck around so long.
Shocked, scared. I didn't know what to do at first. I was panicking at first, and I said I got to call somebody. So I ran out the house and knocked on a couple of doors, and they called the fire department for me.
And the call for help from Steubenville fire crews came at the right time.
We made entry. Within 5 minutes, it flashed through the back of the house. The roof was fully involved. I pulled everybody out for safety. We went to a defensive attack.
That's when the roof collapsed. Crews say the blaze that ripped through the duplex in the 600 block of Garrett Avenue was fast moving.
We had some people come up with reports. They were smelling smoke as early as 4 a.m. this morning. So if that's the case, it's had a 45-minute head start up in that ceiling somewhere.
By 7:30 a.m., crews were still putting out a few hot spots using a line from Lincoln Avenue. Police there directed traffic as it started to pick up throughout the morning.
We were using hydrants on Linden and Railroad and just didn't have enough water pressure to do the job that we needed once we put the stick up.
Another issue, that water turned to ice, creating slick conditions for the firefighters, but also making this morning's situation a little tougher for Carl Thorne.
Just somebody else's coat. I was out here with just like this. No coat, no nothing, no socks, no nothing. Somebody gave me some socks.
The Red Cross was called in to help Thorne and neighbors of this nearby home. Their aluminum siding didn't stand up to the blaze. Despite what happened early Monday morning, Thorne says he's grateful. He's a light sleeper with a keen sense of smell.
Yeah, if I wasn't woken, I'd be dead right now.
He is a very lucky man. Thank goodness he didn't have a passenger. We'd had at least severe injuries.
Lucky is a word used a lot Wednesday morning after this chilling crash. The driver of this Chrysler convertible slamming into the start of the guardrail. It raised and crashed through the windshield, nearly hitting the driver's side and pushing through the back, extending out about 30 feet. Understandably, the driver was too shaken up to talk to us on camera, but told us he makes this trip up County Road 26, Coal Hill Road in Jefferson County every day for work. And today, like most mornings, the sun is almost blinding.
Carry a pair of sunglasses, that would have helped. Absolutely.
The man behind the wheel wasn't the only one in shock. We spoke to the neighbor who lives just over the hill from where the accident happened.
I heard like a guardrail scratch. I didn't know what was going on. I looked out the window and I seen that. I thought someone died. I thought the guardrail took someone's face off. I came out and he was fine.
And while his car is clearly in bad shape, he is counting his blessings after walking away without a scratch. Are they okay? That's the first thought that raced through Jamie Wallace's head when she found out her daughter crashed on the way to school.
First thing I thought of was, are they okay? Was there another car? Are they, going to have to be cut out? Are they trapped? I honestly thought I was going to vomit.
And when Wallace learned it happened here at the bridge just below Dunn Glen along County Road 7 in Jefferson County.
Didn't surprise me because this road is a very bad road. I mean, I go on this bridge and it's a one-lane bridge and cars will fly up there and expect you to back off and you can't.
And that's a sentiment shared by even Trooper Ed Wygand of the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
We all knew where this was at, and I just reported to the scene, and it was a one-vehicle crash into the guardrail.
Typically, Trooper Wygand says it's an issue where drivers take the turn too fast, but today...
The road itself seemed to have an oily film on it. The driver slid on the oil and lost control and hit the bridge guardrail.
And the trooper tells us the presence of oil may be attributed to increased truck traffic in the area, something neighbors have noticed too.
I was told by, like I said, I was told by the fire department, I was told by a sheriff, I was told by the vice principal, and the fire department even checked the roads, and they said, yes, there's definitely some kind of a film. They said it's like an oily, slippery film.
The vice principal, a school resource officer, and even the superintendent of Buckeye Local Schools stopped out just after the accident to make sure the students were okay. And thankfully, Wallace says this time they were.
I'm hoping they fix it because, we were lucky this time the girls didn't get hurt. But next time it could be a fatal accident. Somebody could lose their life, and it's unnecessary. If they would just do something with it, then it could help out a lot of people and protect a lot of people.
The extensive damage visible as we pulled up to the scene, part of that due to the fact that the 18-year-old driver and 12-year-old passenger had to be extracted from the vehicle. Now we're told that their car hit a county dump truck hard and head-on. An ambulance pulled away from the scene just as we arrived at the accident along State Route 43 in Richmond, not far from County Road 41. Both the 18-year-old female driver and 12-year-old passenger from Bergholz left in an ambulance before being flown to a Pittsburgh hospital to be treated. The extent of their injuries was not immediately known, but responders did see a good sign.
We were able to talk to her a little bit before she was transported.
Several bystanders looked on, and OSHP said they were able to talk to a few witnesses who say it appears the car was traveling southbound on State Route 43 when it went left of center, striking the county dump truck.
What we have so far with witness statements and physical evidence on the roadway, the county truck appeared to be in its own lane and actually trying to move.
However, not able to get far enough out of the way. You can see the front left tire is ripped off and it's sitting on its frame. As crews worked to clean up and begin their investigation, ODOT crews dealt with some of the traffic tie-ups. Traffic was rerouted to 151 while they waited for a wrecker to remove the vehicle. Both lanes of State Route 43 did reopen around 11 o'clock, and OSHP says they will continue to investigate the exact cause of the crash.
I'm here at the 9th annual Wheeling Vintage Race Boat Regatta, and if you come down this Labor Day weekend, you'll be able to see boats such as this one race down the Ohio River at speeds topping 140 miles per hour.
The Wheeling Vintage Race Boat Regatta is a free event open to the public. The nonprofit event benefits the Easter Seals Rehabilitation Center in Wheeling. The program provides services to children with special needs within the Ohio Valley. Co-director of the regatta, Debbie Joseph, says today's event had a lot to offer.
We have a lot more boats this year. Last year we were in the low 30s as far as boats go. We're in the high 40s this year, so we're very happy with the turnout.
The regatta displayed wooden hydroplanes and race boats, some dating back to the 1920s. The boats ran up and down the Ohio River at speeds between 60 and 140 miles per hour. Tim Settle is one of the drivers of a vintage race boat, and he, along with his boat, the Barracuda, have been a part of the regatta since it first began.
The boat was bought by my dad in 1963. I was about 5 years old. Been in the family ever since. About 10 years ago, I found out that it was a fairly famous boat and it had a lot of history, so I pulled it out of the barn and did a 2-year restoration on it.
If you missed today's event, don't worry, there will be more fun on the river tomorrow.
We'll run the boats from 10 to 12, and then the river is closed to us, open to barge traffic from 12 until 1:30. But at that time, our pits will be open, so people can come down, go through the pits, receive free autograph posters, get to see the boats up close and personal.
Tomorrow's opening ceremony begins at 9:45, and the regatta will end at 6 p.m. Reporting from Wheeling, Serafina Brooks, News 9.